Okay, we're now live with Edna Horman, and she's going to be turning 100 years old tomorrow. She's spry, she's all with it, and a very, very happy and healthy woman. She never expected to live to be 100 and said she never even knew anybody who was 100 years old. So we'll get some questions for Edna right now and share some secrets, maybe a tip or two on how to live to be 100. Thanks to all who are joining us live. We'll also have this recorded. Happy birthday tomorrow to Edna.
Hi, Edna. So tomorrow's your big day.
Maybe I'll forget to wake up.
Oh, no, you better wake up tomorrow. It's going to be a big party around here. All the people are going to come from this facility and have a big cake. Your son will be here, and maybe your friend Harriet. Will she come?
Yeah, she's coming down. She's called me, and I said I have other cousin, nieces and nephews, our niece's brother in San Diego. They're coming.
Tell us about how long you've been friends with Harriet.
Oh, Harriet was before I was married.
So you've known her since college?
No, not from college. We worked together at the telephone company, and that's where I met her.
When you first came to San Diego?
Yeah.
And where did you come from? When did you move to San Diego?
What?
When did you move to San Diego?
Can't remember the year.
About how old were you?
Oh, about 17, 18.
And where'd you move from?
South Dakota.
What city?
From the farm out near Nunda, South Dakota.
Shout out to South Dakota, and she's a happy lady here. We're laughing and cheerful as could be. And you've got lots of people commenting and saying, what did you do to get to 100? They're commenting live right now.
What?
People are responding. They want to know how to get to be 100.
How did I get to be 100? I don't know. It's just maybe I forgot to turn the pages of the calendar.
So, Edna, tell us what you did when you were in Nunda.
Well, I was a rural school teacher. And,
how many students did you have?
well, sometimes only 7 or 8. And then sometimes it was 15 and 16.
And they were all ages?
And they were all ages.
In one classroom? It was a one-room schoolhouse?
Yes, It was eight grades.
And then you left Nunda and decided to go live in this exciting life of California.
That's right.
So you came here with your cousin?
With my cousin.
But what happened?
Well,
She didn't stay here with you, did she?
Pardon me?
She didn't stay with you, did she?
No. She had a sister here. And so, but anyway, she didn't stay very long. She got homesick and had to go back.
But you stayed here.
And I stayed.
So tell us what was in San Diego back then when you came at 17 or 18 years old.
It was full of sailors.
Did you meet some of those sailors?
I guess so. I don't know. They were on the streetcar. We always had to ride a streetcar. And it was always sailors because Navy Hospital. And so all the sailors were going to Navy Hospital. So there was always, but you didn't really know them. They were just part of the thing.
Yeah. And then you worked at the telephone company.
That's right.
And back then, did you have to connect phone calls? Did you have to use a plug into the...
Yes.
Tell us about that. How did that work?
Well, I don't really remember too much about it. It just seemed like they give the number and then you plug in to the line, the correct line, and that would be it.
Much different.
And then you had to dial the number.
But it was different than these cell phones that we have today, huh?
That's right. They were quite a bit different.
Yeah, things have changed. So what other kind of changes have you seen in your lifetime? From when they first came out with cars? Do you remember that, when they came out with the automobiles?
Well, no, because I think they were earlier. But of course, I remember when we got our first car, we were on the farm, and we had this car. We were just thrilled, piling in, and but we couldn't. Now we wanted to go to church, but we couldn't all get in the car because we were 7 children.
So you had a farm with your family?
Yes, a farm family.
And did you have all the animals? You have to milk the cows?
Yes. I didn't do much of that, but I did do it, some. My mother and I, we would start the milking, and when they were off thrashing or something, when they were going to be late for dinner, for the evening, then we'd go out and start the cows, milking the cows.
And did you have to do your washing by hand?
No, we had a washing machine, but you worked it with your hands and legs.
Oh.
That's how you got the power.
It was a lot of work, huh?
Yeah.
And how many sisters did you have?
How many what?
Sisters.
I had 2 sisters.
And how many brothers?
4.
It's a lot of kids.
4 brothers. And there are still 2 other brothers still living.
I want to remind those people watching that we are listening and seeing a woman named Edna who is turning 100 years old tomorrow, and she's giving us secrets and tips to live and a little bit of history about how she came to San Diego. So keep going, Sue.
So then you got married when the guys came back from the war, right?
Yeah.
You were saying that there weren't a whole lot of men around when everybody was off to war. Is that correct?
Yeah, most all the fellows were gone.
So then it was just the girls having apartments and working together. And
That's right.
And then how'd you meet your husband?
Well, I met him. I was joining a sorority, and his sister was joining the same sorority, and she didn't drive, so her husband always had to bring her down and come and pick her up. So my friend and I, we rode the streetcar all the time. Anyway, on sorority night, then my sister-in-law, she said, "Would you girls like to ride home?" So we got a ride home, and that got to be kind of a habit. And we'd stop at Carnation's and get ice cream, and then go home, and we'd sit and have a good evening.
And your husband was in the car?
Yeah, and my husband was in the car. He was with my sister-in-law's husband. And that's how I got pretty soon. And we went to, had ice cream. And then finally, one night, he called and wanted to know would I like to go to the movies. So we went. That was my first date.
And then the rest is history, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break.